What a beautiful day. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the mighty VYSS that we picked up 6 months ago already. So half a year, it's actually been 7 months, but we're going to do a half-year breakdown on how it's been to own and drive a nearly 500,000 kilometer SS. Now, for you guys that don't know, this is my 2004 VYSS Commodore. It's a Series 2 6-speed manual leather interior VYSS, and it's been one of my dream cars ever since I was a kid because my mum owned one back in 2003, brand new for 10 years, and it's always been a dream of mine to own another one ever since she got rid of hers. This car is absolutely filthy. I do apologize because daily duties, but we picked it up for 7 grand 6 months ago, and it's cheap because it had a lot of Ks and a couple of nicks and stuff. But so far, this car has been phenomenal. Now, after we bought the car, we did like a 2-month breakdown on how it's been so good. And then just after I did that video, the alternator went on the car and we got stranded in it. It actually fried the alternator for a power steering leak. So now we're gonna do a rundown on literally how the car has been since then. I did buy this car predominantly for my partner to drive around in. She has a GC8 Subaru, and it was a good upgrade. And when this car came up, I really wanted it. I have so many cars and I thought I don't need another daily. I bought this car predominantly for her, but I do drive it all the time. But she drives it all the time as well, which is fantastic. Car gets driven heaps. It's got about 414,000 Ks on it now, and it still runs like a Swiss clock. It is fantastic. I really want to do a compression test on this engine and see how it is. I have been keeping contact with the old owners of this car, and I've been told this is the original engine and running gear and everything still in this car, which is fantastic. Now, I'm not going to stay out here too long, guys, because the wind is getting a little bit crazy and the cockatoos are going nuts over there. The only real mods done to this car is it's lowered on the max speeding rods new style T6 coilovers. It has a redback 2.5-inch system from Catback, billet cube speed short shifter in it, and that's about it for mods. Everything else is pretty much stock standard. So yeah, it's got 414,000 on her now. Here's the interior, guys, nice and leather. I love this car for this reason. Got the gauges up here, the SAS gauges, the oil pressure and water temp. The 3 pedals. We'll take it for a drive and I'll tell you how it's been for the last 6 months, because you guys love this video. The first video on this car has almost 100,000 views. So did pretty well. It's one of the most viewed cars on the channel out of the current 13, almost 14. It's a beautiful day today. Let's take it for a spin and show you guys how it's been. We're in the beast. Let's jump off this spot. Let's give it a bit of a hit as we get out of here and put the windows down. Just a little bit. Let's hear it. God, it feels so fucking good, this car. I can feel the throttle pedal just hit me in the foot just then because of the traction. Love the sound of this car. Such a different sound to my LS Patrol, because that's got like extractors and everything on it too, so it sounds a bit different, and heads and all that stuff. So here we are in the mighty SS, one of the daily drivers. 6 months of driving it, how has it been? So in the first 2 months, it was pretty trouble-free, and then my missus was driving it about 2.5 months after owning it, and the alternator just fried on it because of the power steering. It was a small power steering leak that was leaking onto the alternator. So that was the first time the car sort of went goodbye, and because the car was dead, I couldn't get into it because the key in the door wouldn't work, and then the spare key ended up snapping in the door and couldn't get into the car. Had to break into it through going underneath and popping the bonnet, and we fixed it, and ever since then it has been completely trouble-free. And I know that video we did when we busted the alternator, everyone was saying, nah, get rid of it, it's going to be trouble, it's going to be absolutely problematic, all that stuff. I believe that, you know, obviously wear items are going to be a thing on a car of high caliber kilometers or even low kilometers. So the fact that this car drives so nice for such a high kilometer car gives me a lot of hope, because it's been looked after, and you know, I don't have any hesitation to jump in it and think I'm going to get stranded in it. So to keep it pretty short and simple, the 6 months I've owned it, it has been great. When my missus drives it, she loves the car. She says it drives so good every time she drives it. I always say, you know, is there any issues, any noises, keep an eye out. She goes, nah, it's been fantastic. So once we fix that alternator, the car's been spot on, guys, absolutely spot on. There's a little bit of a twist here, so I'm just sort of feeding it through. Oh, it's so nice. A lot of you guys have been asking me so many questions about the car. How's it been, that coilovers? It's really changed the car. It's really, really changed it. I took it out through the mountains about 3 weeks ago. It was near my birthday, and it just hugged the road. You huck it into corners, it just points and shoots, no understeer. gets a little bit loose in the tail, but that can always be adjusted out. Yeah, it's been phenomenal, and I love this car. It's one of my favorite cars I've ever owned in the how many I've owned over the years. It has just been amazing, and I know I sound very very biased to this, but mate, it puts a smile on my face, and same with my partner driving it. But besides that, you know, things I don't like about it, you know, being a V8, it is thirsty, but you know, when you have these type of cars, you don't buy them for economy. Same with my Patrol. My Patrol's a lot more thirsty. If you guys don't know, I've got a GU Patrol that's got a LS1 in it with heads cam, makes about 380 horsepower. That's my other daily. Even though the Patrol has a lot more power, this is obviously a lot lighter, so this feels a lot quicker. But I do want to wake this car up. I would like to do a cam and some extractors on it and tune it and see how it goes. Just all the normal things, you know, Commodore owners do, SS owners do. I don't want to do too much to the exterior. I need to repaint the front bar because the front bar has been sandblasted from all the kilometers. Typical door handles on these, which they flake off the paint over time, and you end up with flaky door handles because they weren't primed very good from the factory, is what I heard. But other than that, guys, I really can't fault it. This is one car I just love jumping in and going to work in. It makes me excited for the commute. Same with my Patrol, but this thing, I don't know, I always want a car that I drive around and, you know, I'm excited to take it. You know, I don't like new cars, I don't like new SUVs, just an A to B car. I'm not really a fan of that kind of thing. I just love, you know, cars that make you feel special, especially being a car enthusiast. You guys, a lot of you guys know me for, you know, I'm not particularly stuck to one brand. I love cars for what they are. I always think, you know, if you're a true enthusiast, you love cars for what they are, not just a make and model. Some makes and models might give you the ick, it's completely normal, but you know, cars are cars and we love them for what they are. It's very cringy, but it's very true. So a lot of you guys are asking me, you know, how has yours been? Should I get one? And I always say straight away, like, just jump into them. The SSs are freaking awesome, and I love the VY platform, I love the VZ platform, my favorite platform. And then close is the VN, and then the VLs and stuff, but because I've got the VL, but I wasn't a huge fan of VFs and VEs, but I would love a VE Club Sport. These are always my favorite, especially with the V8 supercars. My favorite was always the Kelly brothers, the HRT car, the Holden Racing Team red car. That was the best. The only really problems this car has, it has a very small rear main leak, so I do check the oil here and there, because the oil, actually, I don't think I've topped it up since we did the alternator, so that was like 3-4 months ago. So it's been really good. It never loses any coolant, it never blows any smoke, it never hesitates to start. It doesn't matter if it's hot, cold, it always stays at the same temperature, it doesn't get hot. The gearbox is a little bit noisy. First, second, third is a bit noisy. You know, T56 with 400,000 Ks, you're probably going to get that. The diff is a little bit worn, so when I get on it in the wet, it does try and single on me sometimes. I would like to maybe change the diff over soon, so it's got a bit of a tighter LSD back in it, because sometimes I'll go to do a roundabout or something and it wants to single on me. You didn't hear that from me, I didn't say that. But yeah, this car is just so good, so good. It does have a noisy thrust bearing too. Sometimes when you come to a set of lights and you stop, you hear the thrust bearing sort of do that chatter, and all you gotta do is just, if you put your foot on the clutch and then back off again, it chatter goes away. So it probably needs a thrust bearing done. And when you take off in first, if you give it too much, it does crunch. So that's probably just a sign of a tired box. So nothing crazy. You've got to drive accordingly to things like that. Have some mechanical sympathy. So yeah, guys, you know, the biggest reason I got this car so cheap was the amount of kilometers on it. And you know, so every time I drive this car, I do forget that it's got 400,000 on it. It just doesn't feel like a car that has 400. The way it drives, it's so tight. There's no sloppiness in anything on it that I can really think of. I would like to do a track day in it. I reckon that would be a lot of fun. Do like a Broadfoot or Sandown day in it. Put some slotted brakes on it, good tyres on it, and just see how it goes. Now I've got the coilovers in it, and waking up with a bit more power, and I think it's perfect daily driver, perfect car. I feel like I'm going to keep this car for a long time. And if we ever blow this motor for some reason, I've got a low K kilometer LS at home that we can muck around with, and maybe build this motor and put that in my VL. So we'll see. Got traction then. Traction then again. Oh, it's so good. 6 months owning this vehicle. I've honestly had cars with a quarter of the kilometers on it that's been way more problematic. So it does give me a glimmer of hope. You guys know my attachment to this car, you know, sentimentally, through when my mum had hers when I was a kid, and it was a shame that engine had to lose oil pressure on that car and she had to trade it in. She's got a VE now, but she always says how much she misses the VY. It's her favourite car to this day. And I would love to buy one and give it to her. And a lot of you guys in the first video said I should have brought this and given it to mum, but the only thing is it's a manual and she doesn't drive manual. If it was an auto car, guys, 1,000,000% I would have bought one for her and gotten her to sell the VE and another Sting Red VY SS, and then it'd be cool if I find another one down the track, buy it for her, and then I've got this one. So we've got one manual, one red one back in the family. All right, guys, we're back home with the beast. You actually see how freaking filthy it is. But yeah, we're back home with the beast. Looking really pretty. Good looking cars, aren't they? Got the other beasts up here as well. Got the GU. Just went for a trip this weekend up to Rushworth. Car did phenomenally. The big LS GU, beast of a thing. Got the other babies in here, which are getting used for shelves, of course. But yeah, guys, I hope this video sort of sums up the last 6 months of owning this SS Commodore, and I hope the next 6 months to come are all sunshine and rainbows. But yeah, guys, I'm really in love with this car. I love it so much. It's been such a freaking good car to have as a daily. Something I've wanted for a long time, and I'm glad to have it in the fam. Needs a really nice wash. Hopefully we can do some more videos on it very, very soon. I still want to paint the front bar, do the door handles, get it nice and red, nice and stinging red, and have it to a point where I'm really happy with it. And yeah, every time I take this car anywhere, even if it's to a meet or something, people just don't believe the amount of kilometers on it. And once I paint the front bar, it'll be hard to tell because this car's very straight. There's barely a dent on it, which is fantastic. But yeah, we're gonna do a lot more with this car in the future. Definitely stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video summing up the ownership. You guys seem to like these ones. But right now I've got to go do some backyard work because I'm digging out the foundation for my shed slab, which we're going to be laying very soon, which is exciting. So I've got some work to do today, and then I've got to go to work straight after that. So I've got a busy day ahead, which is fine, but it's all part of it. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. Bye bye.